Die Hard 2 is a great sequel. It may not be as good as its predecessor, but it sure as hell is a ton of fun to watch. It's based on a novel called 58 Minutes by author Walter Wager. And like its predecessor, it takes the core blueprint of the story and does its own thing with it. This time around, it's a snowy Christmas Eve at Washington Dulles Airport, which by the way, from here on out, this franchise would expand the setting with each film. John is picking up Holly, who's flying in from LA. They're going to spend the holidays with John's in-laws. But before they can spend a joyous Christmas together, John once again has to deal with bad dudes doing bad things. The villain in this one is a disgraced colonel, who by the way has one of the funniest intros ever. If you've seen this, you know what I'm talking about. He, along with his goons, take over an airport as a means to free a captive dictator being flown into the US, and they cause terrifying chaos both on the ground and in the air. Yes, in a lot of ways, this is the Die Hard blueprint, just in a more expanded setting. It's not too different from the first film. Does it offer up entertaining, high-octane action that reflects why this genre was so great in the 80s and 90s? Absolutely. A lot of the action sequences are very slapstick. They're like a punchline. There's a sequence with snowmobiles that cracks me up, and I mean that in a good way. Now, of course, there was an absence, director John McTiernan. The gig this time around would go to Rennie Harlin. He was coming off A Nightmare on Elm Street 4 and The Adventures of Ford Fairlane, and this would open the door for him to become an action blockbuster filmmaker. From here, he would do Cliffhanger, The Long Kiss Goodnight, and Deep Blue Sea. And Bruce Willis is once again great as John McClane. He checks all the boxes that make this character so fun to watch, constantly finding ways to one-up the bad guys in an intense game of cards. And I really like how toward the third act here, twists and turns start to come in, because I feel this really elevates the motivations of the villains. It's not as simple. I mean, Colonel Stewart is certainly not as compelling as Hans Gruber, but he's still a pretty terrifying villain. And much like its predecessor, this is a Christmas movie. A double feature of the first two films is a must for me during the holidays, but I do just like to visit the franchise altogether. And of course, this would be followed up by a stunning third installment.